As cases of monkeypox pop up in more than 24 countries, the World Health Organization is set to take a dramatic action to stop this disease dead in its tracks. For more of this story, we turn to WBS medical reporter Dr. Michael Gumbatz. Doctor?
Hey, thank you, Zach. It's good to be here.
Doctor, are you outside of a zoo?
Yes, I am, Zach. I thought it might be a little funny, good for a chuckle. The World Health Organization doesn't, but I think it's an inspired choice of location.
Right. Well, besides the obvious pun, how is monkeypox affecting the U.S. as a whole?
Well, Zach, in a typical virus outbreak, we'll see clusters that will grow and rapidly spread, particularly to people who think it's just a hoax, or worse, a conspiracy.
And is it a serious disease?
Oh, it can be, Zach. The clinical presentation of monkeypox resembles that of smallpox, with disgusting blisters, miserable rashes, horrible fevers, and it can be fatal in 3 to 6% of cases. It's a very scary disease.
3 to 6%. That's more than twice the 1.4% fatality rate of COVID. What is the WHO going to do to stop it?
Well, after many hours of testing and discussion among the world's greatest medical minds, and I wasn't invited, I'm happy to say the WHO has figured out a definitive way to eradicate monkeypox from the face of the earth.
That's great news. How are they going to do that?
Well, Zach, they're going to change the name.
And?
And no more monkeypox, ever.
But how is that going to help?
Well, the general director of WHO said they're working with partners and experts from around the world to find a new name for this virus because he feels the current name carries a stigma and stimulates racism.
And how will that help the people with the disease?
Oh, it won't. They're still going to die from the same rate, but not from monkeypox. It'll be something less offensive and more user-friendly, like love lesions. Wouldn't you rather die from love lesions than monkeypox?
I'm not sure if it would matter to me.
Well, Zach, you obviously just don't understand the practice of modern medicine. So back to you and Nora.
Thank you. Dr. Gumbatz?
New COVID data suggests that after months of declining case rates, the number of people testing positive across the UK is starting to go up again. This new wave is being caused by 2 new subvariants of Omicron, BA4 and its little sister, BA5. But why now? And why these specific variants? While it is true that UK citizens have, for the most part, been good about staying on top of COVID, getting vaccinated, wearing masks in highly public areas, making sure a new cup is used at every tea time. However, vaccine potency and immunity are beginning to wear down, especially when coming face to face with our new viral enemy. These variants are a bit different in that they go after lung tissue as opposed to basic subscription COVID, where it goes after your cells like a normal virus should. This makes things a tad concerning, as there is no concrete way of knowing if the most recent booster can cover you from the new viral twins on the block. UK doctors are quite cautious as they fear it might spread faster than before. But as of right now, there is no immediate danger, still applying that age-old saying, keep calm and carry on.
In more UK news, Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon is starting her campaign for a second independence referendum on Tuesday. She argues that Scotland would be economically better off outside the United Kingdom. The country's government tried to do the same in 2014, but failed as 55% of its people voted to stay as part of the UK, with 90% to subjugate its neighbors with haggis. Ugh. Sturgeon argues that the landscape has changed significantly since then, especially with the UK leaving the European Union and the election of Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Johnson did comment on the situation, saying he does not believe another independent vote is necessary, as the vote last time was good enough and to essentially shut up and don't think about it too much, which is ironically the same advice Melania Trump's mother gave her on Melania's wedding night. While the public forum and vote has not yet commenced, the Scottish people are cleaning multiple pint glasses as they will drink one for every time Brexit is mentioned.
President Joe Biden will travel to Saudi Arabia next month. The planning and announcement of the visit is already a triumph for Saudi Arabia and its de facto ruler, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. President Joe Biden has now publicly reneged on candidate Joe Biden's promise to pay the price and make them, in fact, the pariah that they are for misconduct such as the murder of U.S. journalist Jamal Khashoggi. When confronted about the contradiction, Biden explained he made that statement long before he destroyed the U.S. economy and desperately needed Saudi oil. This makes him the latest American leader to affirm the historic quid pro quo with the kingdom that if you've got enough oil, that human rights are as negotiable as an athlete's gender at an NCAA swim meet. Mexico banned the sale of e-cigarettes last week via a presidential decree. We now go to our correspondent Dean in Mexico.
Oh, hi, Nora. Mexican President Andrés Obrador's order outlaws the sale of e-cigarettes. It's just the latest anti-vaping policy he's enacted. The country previously banned import of e-cigarette devices, where vape pens have recently been banned because of their influence on young people.
Excuse me, Dean, didn't I just see you hitting a vape pen?
No, that was just a pen. The ink was stuck. Anyway, according to President Obrador, the bright colors and irresistible fruity flavors have made it a problem for Mexican youth, those who have not yet left for America. They taste like freedom. The announcement came on World No Tobacco Day, an advocacy day started by the World Health Organization aimed at informing the public about the dangers of tobacco use. Of course, vape pens contain no tobacco. They're safe, harmless, and a delicious substitute. And they're not the least bit addictive nor likely to cause lung disease. Of course, here in Mexico, that's not really a problem, since there's a good chance the kids will die from gang violence long before they're old enough to get lung cancer. Most excited by the new policy are the drug cartels, who are now happy to add a new black market item to their catalog. Back to you, Nora.
Nora, have you ever been a cyberbully?
You betcha.
Well, this might interest you. Japan's national legislature passed a bill Monday that would punish people convicted of making online insults with up to 1 year in prison and fines over $2,000, Kyoto News reported. So, might want to cancel that trip to Japan, Nora. Observant reporters would have said that it was a really stupid idea, but they can't do hard time. The legislation would amend Japan's penal code to increase established punishments for people found guilty of insulting others over the internet. In a related story, after hearing that insults would no longer be allowed, Facebook shares dropped 500 points on the Nikkei.
Fear not, Japan is not the only country goose-stepping into fascism. James Watts, a former British police constable, has been sentenced to 20 weeks in jail for sending a series of memes, including racist stereotypes about the size of black men's genitalia. A spokesperson claims his 20 weeks in prison will likely demonstrate for Mr. Watts the veracity of those memes.
When we return, Biden shows a boy band how to break up, and Mr. Coffee may be watching. When we return.